Now from this video we will start with polity section of UPSC syllabus, and in polity the first chapter is historical background of Indian constitution. Now this chapter contains different acts that came in colonial era that became helpful in framing our modern day constitution. Before getting to this chapter, the first thing is, what is constitution itself? How can we define constitution? So in very simple word, constitution is the supreme law of the land. It is the supreme law. Supreme law means that all the other laws and customs, if they have to be valid, they should be conformed to the Constitution of India. Only if they are conforming to the Constitution of India, they are valid. And if they are not conforming to the Constitution of India, they will be declared as invalid, or they will be declared as null and void by our judiciary. So Constitution is the supreme law of the land. The second thing about Constitution is that it is fundamental law of the nation. Fundamental means which comes first. Constitution is fundamental and organic law of the nation. Now here organic means that have element of life. Our constitution has element of life. How it has element of life? By the virtue of amendment. And this power is confirmed to the government under Article 368. So with the help of amendments, changes are brought to the Constitution of India that are required by the time. So it is organic in nature. The next thing about Constitution is it establishes conception, character and organization of the government. What does conception means? Conception simply means how to create something. That is, how to create government is given in Constitution itself. How to create statutory body or executive body is given in Constitution. So Constitution establishes conception. Second, character. Character means, for example, the character of Indian Constitution is secular in nature. It is democratic in nature. Republic, socialist in nature. So Constitution establishes conception, character and organization of the government. Generally there are three types of government found in the world. First is presidential form of government, second is semi-presidential form of government, and third is parliamentary form of government. Our constitution adopts parliamentary form of government. And the last thing is, constitution determines the sovereign power of the government. Sovereign power. Now what is sovereignty? Sovereignty means that our internal as well as external decisions will be taken by our own chosen representatives, and they will not be influenced by any other foreign power. For example, all the major internal as well as external decisions are taken by government of India, central government, and these are not influenced by other countries like USA or China. So in short, constitution is the fundamental and organic law of the nation that establishes conception, character and organization of the government, as well as it determines the extent of sovereign power of the government. The next thing is, what are the functions of constitution? What are the major functions of constitution? The first function is it validates all laws. It validates all laws that made in the country. Second important function is it reflects the ideology. It reflects the ideology and philosophy of nation state. And the third important function is it provides organizational framework of the government and defines interrelationship among various forms of government. This is all about constitution. The next thing is constitutionalism. Constitutionalism generally means having a limited government. That is the government which works within its limits and do not cross limits arbitrarily. The constitutionalism is required because unlimited government can concentrate huge power in one or fewer hands, and that will lead to corruption and encroachment of liberty of common people. Now, there are certain provisions that ensure constitutionalism. The provisions that ensures constitutionalism, these provisions are: first is fundamental rights of citizens. The fundamental rights restricts government to arbitrarily form policies, and if the government policies are intervening with the fundamental rights of the citizens, these laws or policies can be declared as invalid by the judiciary. Second is democratically formed constitution. Third is separation of power. There are generally three organs of government: executive, legislature, and judiciary. Legislative is the organ of the government that formulates laws, that make laws. Executive implement these laws, and judiciary will check these two organs and see if these things are implemented or formulated properly. Separation of power means watertight arrangement between these organs so that no one organ can influence other organs' decision or power. But in India, the executive are itself part of legislative. Therefore, in India we have separation of power between executive and judiciary. The next thing that ensure constitutionalism, next thing is check and balances. These different organs of the government check each other and ensures that no one organ is enjoying their power arbitrarily. Next provision that ensure constitutionalism is independent judiciary. Independent judiciary that have power of judicial review, that can review the laws of the government, and the independent judiciary which can provide relief to the people in case they are exploited by the system. So this provision also ensure constitutionalism. Next provision is public opinion. Public opinion that is strong and objective, that cannot be influenced by gender, caste or religion. So these are the provisions that ensure constitutionalism. The first provision is fundamental rights, second is democratically formed government, third is separation of power, fourth is checks and balances, fifth is independent judiciary, sixth is public opinion. The next thing is constitutionalism in India is less if we compare it to Western countries, that is USA or Western Europe. The reasons why constitutionalism is less in India are: number one, corruption. The first reason is corruption. Second reason is human right violation in India. And the third reason is people themselves allow government to cross limits. So people themselves allow. And how people allow government to cross limit? Because people do not raise question. They do not raise question to the government of the day. And if they are not raising question to the government, then democracy will be in danger. Democracy will be weak. And if democracy is weak, government will use power arbitrarily. And if government is using power arbitrarily, that means that constitutionalism is less in the country. Also, people are unaware of their rights, and they can choose government because they are divided on parochial lines like race, caste, gender, or religion. Now this is all about constitution. From tomorrow we will deal with our first chapter, that is historical background. And the first thing is Regulating Act of 1773. Tomorrow we will deal with Regulating Act of 1773, and rest things will be dealt in further lectures.